Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Software Engineer K here, and today we're going to be going through quite a few interesting points. We're going to be going through mainly something that I've dubbed the Ecomi Effect. I want to explain what that is as well and why that's important. We're going to be touching on one of the points from the interview that Jake again did with BC Trevor yesterday. We're also going to be going on to a few highlights in terms of what Dan had shared with us, the CEO, from a couple of months ago, just why that's relevant in terms of Ecomi's valuation, because I stand by, with all my investments, that they need to have multiple avenues of success, and that's exactly what Ecomi has. And I also wanted to touch on David Yu's LinkedIn and just another business aspect, just kind of clarify why I think a lot of what we're speculating in terms of Ecomi, there is some value to it. So we will also wrap up with our daily price analysis. So without further ado, we'll go straight into the interview with Jake again. So he interviewed BC Trevor, who is the kind of lead content creator now. He used to work for Riot, and he spoke about one thing in terms of IP licensing and kind of the authenticity of NFTs, and something that I want to highlight as well. So I'm just going to play this for you guys.
From the IP. So one of the coolest things about with the Jurassic Park, specifically with the dinosaurs, that I'm super excited about is like we actually get to work with the real Jurassic Park dinosaur models that they use in the movies. So it's we're using the CGI, like the base of a lot of what those NFTs will be the CGI assets from the Jurassic Park movies, which is a really cool place to start with, and that's something that I'm excited with, like that license, and then with future licenses that we get to actually work from those like real world things. So when you're getting that NFT, you're not getting some fan art version of it that we created based off it. It's actually the real fucking thing, and then we've turned it into an NFT, and we're trying to turn it into an NFT.
Okay, guys, there you go. So this is what really got me excited, because I know initially when I did ask about this, I found out that the artists that worked on these NFT models, they're actually the original artists who worked on the sculptures for the Batman, for example, the Batman drop. So the fact that they have the actual authentic assets from the original film, the CGI, and they're converting that into an NFT, that is about as authentic as you can get. That's like literally, if I was to apply it to physical assets, that's like, having, say, a Star Wars film and you have your stormtroopers, and then the actual props, say, for example, the guns that the stormtroopers use, giving that away as, a collectible. That's literally what they're doing here. They're taking original film assets and turning into NFTs and then distributing that alongside, all of the artists and everything, the original artists that worked on it. That is really, really cool. I mean, no one else can compete on that front, because their competition is literally doing the opposite. They're, kind of creating copies, unoriginal copies of, whatever they're working with. But Ecomi's is taking it a step further. Like, this is real authentic stuff. So I think this is amazing. And I'm really excited with that as well. And on that point, I did want to touch on David Yu's LinkedIn. So David Yu, he obviously has other businesses, other ventures he's been on. So typically when someone is kind of starting a business, they'll typically tend to not reinvent the wheel. They'll take aspects of things that they've done really well, and reapply it. So, for example, if you have a chef and they want to start their own business, it's probably going to be a culinary related business. If you have a software developer, they want to start a business, it's probably going to be something, related to software applications, somewhere along those lines. So, David Yu, he's been on licensing for a very, very long time. He actually started working at the age of 17 when he established his company. And that, to me, is a great sign. Someone who has that drive, that motivation at such a young age. I mean, what was I doing at the age of 17? I was just playing online games all day. I was playing, Maple Story back in the day. So I found that really inspirational. And on that point, he's achieved a lot in the licensing world. 24 years of Games R Us, and I noticed that he did have, positions in other companies as well, especially this company here, Bingy FinTech. They're to do with payments, it looks like, credit payments. But I noticed that their Bingy debit card, it has a kind of digital display on it, and it looks identical to the VV Secure wallet. And that just showed me that he's clearly kind of taken this and re-engineered it into the VV Secure wallet. And that confirmed my my suspicion that David Yu, he isn't different to anyone else who starts a business. He's reusing, reworking what he's good at, and something that has worked for him already. So the fact that he has these companies that have worked with loads of licenses, he's got loads of relationships as a result. He's definitely reusing and reworking those into Ecomi. And some of those licenses are ones that people have been speculating for a long time now, and things that he has said he is definitely working on. I know people want Pokemon, and he has 100% said he is working on it, and he does want them. He said he's going to work hard for it. And there are plenty of other brands within his like that licenses that fall under his company. Really, really good ones as well. So we've definitely got some really, really good stuff to look forward to. And on that point, I've noticed that with these licenses that they have, the companies behind them, that I believe it's a very kind of mutual benefit that they have, because there's something that I dub the Ecomi Effect, and it's something I've noticed other people have kind of fallen prey to as well. So I'll take Kripkins as an example, since that's the most recent drop. Um, so this is Michael Plasak's picture, because he has the physical Kripkins. Now, I didn't really care about Kripkins. I had heard of them, but I would have never really bought them. Now, having bought the Kripkins NFTs, playing around with them, kind of learning about their history and stuff, I actually started to like them. And you know what? Honestly, I would actually go out and purchase the physical version. Maybe not all of them, but like I would get probably the Cosmic Cthulhu, because I think that one looks cool, and I'm quite happy I got the ultra rare for that. And I noticed that there were people who were purchasing the Rise of Ultraman physical comics, and like the full set and framing them and stuff. And I don't think they would have purchased these otherwise. And I think that's really, really cool. So like Ecomi is driving traffic to the companies behind these licenses, and people are buying the physical versions, which they would not have bought otherwise. And I think that is a very, very cool, very unique selling point that Ecomi can push for, is that this partnership, this relationship that they have with these companies, their licenses, they can drive more traffic, more customers to their products. Now, I think this is going to be extremely beneficial where the physical version is very, very expensive. So the physical Batman statues, if someone has the NFT version and that gets them kind of introduced to it, interested in it, understand the history, they play around with it and they're like, oh, this is really cool. This is one of my favorite ones. I want to get the physical version as well. They will probably go out and buy it, which they would not have done otherwise. So I need to kind of resist the urge of buying the physical versions myself, but I probably will cave in. And I'm not even a hardcore collector. Like I do collect certain things, but I would never have thought of myself buying Kripkins, to be honest. But here we are. So on that point, Dan, the COO, he did mention some pretty cool stuff. He has spoken about some things that are coming out, and I just wanted to highlight these because Ecomi, it falls under what I would describe as an investment I have, which has no single point of failure but multiple points of success. So what I know is Ecomi, they've got tons of licenses, an experienced team, but then they've got multiple ways to increase the burn rate. So for example, in terms of licenses, people have constantly spoken about Pokemon. Dan and also Dave said that they're going to do their best to get Pokemon on board. So I think that is cool that they have at least spoken out about it. They might already have it, but they're obviously NDAs and whatnot. They can't disclose this kind of thing. They also spoke about, or Dan spoke about, blind boxes. This is something Reese has also mentioned. So blind boxes are kind of like, if you have your Pokemon cards, it's the booster packs, and you don't know what you're getting, but you're going to get a few of some random ones, potential to get one that's really, really rare, exclusive. So the fact that they're releasing an NFT version, this is what people want. BC Trevor said it themselves. They're going to work and prioritize on things that people want. So this is going to help burn OMI, a lot faster. Right now, we've just got time drops with a finite number. To bring up blind boxes, that's going to help us in like a crazy amount. And on that point, we're going to have multiple drops as well. So again, more OMI burn, and we haven't even seen the buybacks yet. So that's going to be pretty positive on OMI's price. And then on top of that, geolocation, these kind of location-based events. So, for Pokemon Go, we have location-based raids. They're going to do something similar. So I'm pretty excited for that as well. Now, moving on to the price of OMI for today. So we are trading sideways in this range. I believe that we will continue in this range. Now, we saw from this crazy green candle that 3 million trading volume in 1 hour, that when we wicked below 0.45 cents, the price just got bought up straight away. So that tells me there are a lot of pending buy orders, some from, some pretty big players. I think a lot of the whales, they have pending buys below 0.45 cents. So I think that is literally the bottom that we can go to, unless they decide to pack up and go somewhere else, which I don't think they will, because that is extremely cheap for OMI. I think they're going to hold that range. And also, OMI is actually quite low risk, because it's backed by a physical product, physical company. A lot of coins, they don't have that. They're backed by speculation and the kind of concept of holding for value. So I think what's going to happen is we're going to trade sideways until we get a tier one exchange confirmed, which Dan, the CEO, said we have a higher than average chance of that happening this month. Reese said that they're looking at 3 to 4 exchanges within the next couple of months. So that does kind of align. At least one exchange should be coming out this month, and it should be a tier one exchange. So better than what we have right now, which would be awesome, because I am not a huge fan of Sendex. So once we hit that, I believe we will retest the 0.75 and then moving on to the 1 cent range. And I believe we'll break our all-time high once we have a tier one exchange listing. And if we go to the 4 hour chart, you can see here we've got quite a few good regions of resistance, which should break into support, which should turn into support if we can close above it. But you can see we rebounded perfectly off this line of support, and I think we will retouch and rebound again. I don't see us breaking and closing below it because of just the immense amount of buying pressure below 0.445 cents. So that's pretty much everything I wanted to go through, guys. I will keep you guys updated if there's anything else I find out. But please do like and subscribe to support the content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.